Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you for those kind words, Rotmi. And good afternoon to all. It's my great pleasure to be with you, all of you. And it's the last day. Like any seminar, symposium, etc. The last day attendance dwindles, but I'm very happy to see that most of you, almost all of you are here. It's very good to see that. Uh, Thanks. I would like to thank the organizers for giving me an opportunity to talk to you, to interact with you. So I would call it rather an interactive section rather than a lecture, because a lecture can always fall on deaf ear, but an interactive section you can all interact. If time permits, you can ask questions in between. I do not know whether it's a good thing to make you ask questions, but well, if it's necessary, you can do that. Okay, then let's start. Let's start. So today we are going to talk about, as the title shows, innovation in research. So what's research? I'll talk about that, and then a very important component of the research is sponsorship and collaborative efforts. So today's talk will focus on the collaborative and sponsored aspects of this topic, research innovation. So let's see. Today I'll talk in this lecture, the first part of the lecture. I made it to two parts for convenience. In the first part, we talk about the relevance of research and development in academic institutions and what's the need of a R&D collaboration and organized effort for that. What are the pathways to institutional advancements through research? What should be the vision and mission of the research and development in an academic institution and in general? Long back, maybe about 6 years back, 7 years back, ACTE had formulated a research framework that has been circulated to, I think, all colleges, of course, under the the technical university. But I do not know how many of us are aware of it. I'll just make a small presentation, I mean, 2 slides on the salient features of that. It's very important to identify much early the talent and promote the talents in an educational and academic institution. What are its aspects? I'll talk about it. More importantly, this I had been talking in all lectures. Interdepartmental and interdisciplinary research programs are extremely important. It's no more, research is no more in an island. So we have to interact together. I'll emphasize on the aspects of that. Another important aspect of this is student faculty interactive programs and student partnership. I'll speak a few things about that. And for the next part of the lecture, what is exploratory work and collaborative research program and sponsor research, and what is academic industry interaction. So this is broadly the topics I'm going to cover today. So what's the relevance of R&D? Research is still certainly an essential component of the institution's mission. So institution have a mission, and of course it should have a vision. So a mission and vision combined with drives the institution, whether it's academic or industry, it will drive forward. These combination should be there to drive any industry or any institution forward. Now, today's world is globalized. I mean, it's a small world. It's not even not 140 or 180 countries today. Today, it's almost like what we had many in BC, say, continent. So, as far as IT and togetherness is concerned, we are together. We are almost together now. So, in this world, academic institutions play a very important part in growth led by innovation, To get the development and sustainability, we need to be together. Motivated research. Research should have always motivation. See, it starts from the brain. It comes from the mind rather than the body. So the brain needs motivation, and the research hence needs motivation. So motivated research and education is an effective medium to generate innovation. Now we must have robust research programs. Just having program is not enough. We should have careful planning added to that, and evidence-based assessment of what we are doing, what is to be done. And finally, all this will be in vain unless we collaborate with somebody, because several heads together, they put together, can have a great effect rather than a thinking of one single head. So as you can see here, this is a pictorial representation. One second. Sorry. I'll go to the. What is encouragement for national and international publication? And what does R&D do? It fosters interdisciplinary research. I'm going to talk about all this a little later. So just only to show you some picture representation. Now, as I said earlier, any institution should have a mission and vision for higher education. Student-faculty interactive programs, interdepartmental and interdisciplinary research programs. Now, more importantly, multidivisional framework for achieving the excellence. So, you see, we have, for example, in any college, you will have a divisions or department. But you must realize, what are the divisions and departments? They are all made by us. For a knowledge, for a technical knowledge, a scientific knowledge, for an institution, there is no division. Truly, divisions we have created. So all the division should come together for a common effort, and that's what is called multidivisional framework. And a research plan should be executed, not a division, not only a department or division alone. It should be the combined effort of many or all the departments. Now, are we in the right track when you are doing the research? The question is halfway through, do we have to do any midterm correction? Are we in the right track? So a governance mechanism will help us to track and promote the research program and continuous improvement. So nothing is stagnant. In life, nothing is stagnant. Everything has to improve. Everything has to move forward. So for sustainability, this is essential. Now, what is the mission and vision of an R&D? As it's shown here, you have a mission to start with. Should you define a mission? Fostering multidisciplinary and innovative research using advanced technology is the mission. And strong research culture among faculty, students, and encouragement of project-based learning and funded research. That's a method. So you have a vision, mission, and of course, mission and vision together will take you to what you call a value. So you will have value combined with mission and vision will take us to goals. So to achieve the goals, achievement of excellence in research, innovation, that's the goal. That's the goal. To do that is a combination of these mission, vision, and of course, combined with values. Collaboration between researchers and the industry. I am going to talk about in some detail about that at a later stage. What are the problems faced by us in this collaboration? What are the corrections factors that could be done? That will be discussed in the coming slides and a video. I hope I can play the video. Let us see. I mentioned to you about ACT research policy document. ACT, you had presented a research policy framework document to help its approved academic institution sometime back. That was to increase the awareness of research and develop strong research programs in the institution. Also, ACT envisaged short-term and long-term research program and plans. It also helped and requested to provide necessary infrastructure to enable the research, good research, and as I said about the governance mechanism. So this is achieved through things like faculty development program, like what we are doing. I think we had totally six faculty development program, which is coming very close to an end. And I'm sure. Actually, I was fascinated. Actually, I participated in a couple of the presentation FDPs. It's very good, really very good. I learned a lot of things over there. So it goes on without saying that FDPs for students, student development programs, institutional development schemes, research and innovation development scheme, and general schemes are absolutely necessary for this. So AICT research promotion scheme consists of identify thrust areas, and promote research of that in the technical education. An ambience for research, good research, should be created. How do you create the ambience for good research? Promote engineering, sciences, innovations. Now, innovation, very, very important. I told you, no society is stagnant. If you stay in the 19th century, you would have stayed without any innovation or without nothing. The Industrial Revolution took us to the present state, and then, of course, now what we are today was unthinkable, I think, during the Industrial Revolution. Now, what is the motivation? How did it happen? It started through innovation and continuous learning process. Now, AICT's 10-point programs are like this. I have told you about the first one. Research is an essential part. Proper research program should have a careful planning and assessment. Institute to have a research plan, to consider institution ancestry, resources. Now, you must think that you should try to do things, whatever you have capability to start with, whatever your resources have. You cannot have ambitions, to have the moon. You can't get the moon. So whatever you have, go restrict to that to start with, then you can slowly develop that. That is what is called institutional ancestry, resources and resource talents and current staff and realistic price limitations of opportunity. What is the talent priority? We must recognize talent and retain the talents. Yes, this is one big problem in many of the, especially self-financed institutions. We cannot retain the talent because the obvious reasons. We will not be able to fulfill the commitment, financial commitment always. So it's easily said than done. In theory, you can say, hey, you must really retain the talent. It's not, if if your talent is drained out, what happens to the institution? But then, of course, you try to promote, in the existing community, you promote the talent and achieve the aim. Now, come to the 5.5. It's very important. Very important for, I think, especially for the administration and management. Researchers require time for their work because nothing will fall from the sky. You have to, nothing is born, nobody is born with a silver spoon or golden spoon in the mouth. You have to do hard work. No pain, no gain. No gain without pain. So it's a painful work for years together or at least months together. So they require time and for their development institutions' performance and expectations of the institution to reasonably balanced with these above things. That's very important. Desired course, as I said, collaboration and opportunity. Systematic analysis required to sources of research funding. I am going to show you some sources and what they can give you, what you can get from them, etc. And as I said, monitoring, evaluation for midterm corrections. Biometric indicators. I'm come to that. I'll come to that. What are the commonly used biometric? Due to the lack of time, I cannot go into the detail, because if you go into the detail, it will be a one-day lecture. You will not be able to do that. So it's a very brief biometric indicators. And the fact that universities are seeking to establish the research program through some of these indicators to determine the performance conditions in the university. I don't want to go through this again and again, because we all know that early identification of the talent is extremely important in institutions. So timely identification of the talent among students and faculty is extremely important. Now, what is the pattern used for TM, talent identification? Talent shortage. So it's a small comparison table, and if I have in the left side, it's a theme, and what are the issues or patterns? So talent shortage, insufficient quality, and number of insufficient faculty. So there is always because of this 32%, there is a huge gap between required and available faculty. And TM, few structured programs are only available to staff. So you cannot develop the leadership with very few programs. It should go on. Many need for TM, of course, competitive advantage. So if there is competition for leadership, healthy competition, mind you, not fight, healthy competition, then if you want that, you have to invest in training and succession planning. You cannot expect one faculty or 10 faculties to stay forever, so they will retire, they will go, their opportunity. So invest in training, and you should have succession planning and retaining talent, etc., etc. These are all self-explanatory. Student-faculty interaction, most of the colleges have that, but that will help the bridge gap between theory and practice. And it will what you call demystify. What is demystify for students? The other day, when I was sitting in our R&D center, some student was asking, what is R&D? So for them, it is a mystic, I must say, mystic word. What is R&D? They are not heard, and they are not exposed. I'm not like blaming them. They're not exposed. So it's so more interactions. I have always tried that. More interaction will demystify the research process, and also it will give you time for more engagement and motivation and feel good factor among students and faculty. Student engagement will have, certainly, you must have seen as a faculty members, direct impact on students' emotional. Now, emotional behavior, etc. Because most of the students, they also have a limit for learning. So if it's like a doctor, if you go to a doctor and if he's interacting nicely with you, there is a more emotional attachment, direct impact, and the curing of the problem, disease will be much easier. Same applies to all the other things, I mean, including the teaching. Similarly, increased learner-instructor interaction. Next slide also again says about more of the things, importance of learner-instructor interactions, regular feedback from students, strong student engagement in online courses. Yes. Now, not long back, we had COVID problem and everything was through online courses. They're certainly lacking so many, close interactions. Today, student engagement is dependent willingness and motivation to participate. Now, on their own, the willingness of a student to participate, an average student, to participate in a program online. sorry, online program will be generally low. Now, it's necessary for the faculty to motivate them. So engagement comes through motivation and fostered through interaction, and it will also help to overcome barriers like social, administrative, motivational, etc. Now, I have said this before many of the occasions wherever I get a question. Today's research is not an isolated phenomenon. It was not like Newton's days or Einstein's days. All research programs, what is useful for the society, is done together. Even see in Nobel Prize, it's shared. Although maybe 2 or 3% of similar idea, they were contributed together with a team. So it's very important to note that you need to integrate knowledge, methods, and perspectives to solve complex problems. A single departmental work will not be able to solve complex problems today. Current research scenario demand interdisciplinary education and skills and sustains partnership. We have complex problems today in the present society, in the present scenario, in the present world, modern world, as it has progressed. The problems are not simple at all. The problems we face in any sphere of life, any phase of life, it's not simple. It's climatic change, healthcare, AI ethics, I must say, multifaceted. A single institution or single group cannot, solve this problem, cannot find a solution for that. So share the jobs, join funding pools, and interdisciplinary centers are very, very important for achieving the ultimate goal of good research work. Student partnership, I don't need to keep on talking again. It's of course enhance motivation and for faculty, partnership will give you must have realized that those who are teaching faculty might have received the point number 2. You might have noted or you might have felt the point number 2 very strongly. As you interact with the students, new thinking and understanding will develop. You will also have enhanced enthusiasm. I was just joking. You keep on teaching the same subject for years together. There's no enhancement. You will feel bored and you will become like a machine. Instead, if there is an interaction, you get newer and newer ideas, so that will enhance your enthusiasm. Be in research or be in teaching, same thing. And of course, I told you about collaborative projects, which is again coming. So they must, at the end of it, faculty partners must see as teachers in a new age. That will lead to enhanced teaching and classroom experience. Certainly more active learners and increase empathy. Now, you will also develop increased empathy for the students, because if you keep on seeing the same students and then there's no interaction, you may not have the necessary empathy for the students. So this will help in developing. Now, I am stopping this part at this point of time. Academic R&D. Now, what is academic R&D? Academic R&D is a driver technology for innovation. We have from the all glowing slides, you must realize that it acts as a driver of the new technology innovation. Now, private industries, as you can see, often focus to supply research for commercial products. When you spend 1 lakh rupees, you are expecting return from that. So you don't have time or money to think about motivated, innovative research from your side. So they leave it to the academic institutions and students. So that is where role comes in the picture. So universities and research institutions are primary engines. Since they cannot, industries cannot spend time and money over that, and it's left to you. And you have more time. You have certainly more time than an industrialist. You have less tension. Faculty have less tension. You have tension. I'm not saying that you are not tension, but they have less. That's much less compared to that of an industrialist who who has to worry about 1 zillion things. So now, other bright aspect is that high PhD programs in India in 21-22 itself were 2.12 lakhs. So it could have been much higher today. So it has placed India in the third largest publisher of scientific journals. Maybe today we are 3.5 lakh publications. So we are certainly third largest publisher. I think the first largest publisher could be China, but the issue is that there is a lack of transparency. Most of them are published Chinese for them. Synergy between academic training and research output creates powerful spillover effect, because academic training, spillover training will put their impression in the research output, and that will be a valuable asset for research later. But the problem is that full realization of whatever I told you is hampered today by a significant disjunction between academics and industry. What is it? What is the disjunction? That's what I'm going to tell you in the next set of slides. So collaboration today faces some serious problems, which goes unaddressed. If these challenges go unaddressed, it will be very difficult to tackle tomorrow. So researchers, you must realize that you have a mountain to climb. It's not small. You have to put a lot of effort for that. So in the coming part, so this is the first part. Now, I don't know whether it's a good idea to wait for questions or go ahead for the next part. If there is something, or at the end of the lecture, we can certainly discuss. As I told you, you don't need to ask you questions. You can always say comment. I would like to tell you. Okay. So then we will go to the. Oh, sorry. I'm not to. There is one video. Before that, I will talk in this program, in this part. I'll talk about industry in India, academia, and R&D collaboration. That's the first thing I will talk about. Now, what are the challenges and solutions we're facing before us? IT, R&D collaboration, what are the challenges? And do we have enough solutions? Have you thought about how to solve these problems? That's what we need to discuss, see. This is an open question, really. You don't have an answer today. You may not have an answer tomorrow, but it's for you to think about the answer for today and tomorrow. And then, at some point of time, everything will be hopefully solved. All the countries have taken their own time to come to, all developed countries, and the advanced developed countries, taken their own time to come to the state of advancement today. We are also slowly moving to that, but we cannot look back into the old glory and say that, oh, well, we have achieved so much in the old day. That's enough for us. No. We'll have to find solutions to the challenges and track and promote, find mechanism to track and promote our present research, which will lead to India's research future of a strong industry and academia partnership. Several initiatives are taken, but I'm not saying that government has not taken initiative they have taken. They are taking initiatives, plenty of initiatives. But are they utilized? Are they utilized? Is it percolating? Is it really percolating into the uh, academia? Are we making use of the full use of these benefits given by the government? That is the question we have to ask ourselves. I'll also tell you some what are the opportunities in sponsored research by for IT and AI technologies. What are the student faculty entrepreneurship programs and startups? I don't need to tell you, you all are aware of it. So I need not to go into details of entrepreneurship programs and startups. Industrial collaboration with national academic institutions, what we have in future. What are the academic MOUs, memorandums of understanding with the National Research Institute, international also. I don't know, in many colleges, the government especially may have international research institutions, understandings and MOUs. What exactly is this? What are the type of research projects one can look into in government level? I'll focus largely on government levels because, as I told you, the industries are spending only a very small part of their funding for research. Maybe Infosys is spending, Wipro is spending, but not all. Google is spending, but not all are small industry, they cannot afford. So by and large, it's still the government, central government, and to some extent, various state governments, which have